as a nation between nationalization and privatization, which is the best? Nationalizing your factories, your industries, and your important sectors in your country, or privatizing them, which is the best way to help a nation or a country develop, progress, and move forward? Me personally, I think nationalizing them is the best way to go, because the nation or the country has all the resources available to them in the country to invest into these sectors, these important factories and industries and sectors, and produce on a larger scale, so they get more income as compared to privatizing them. In Ghana and Africa, most African countries, we've privatized most of our important and necessary industries and factories and sectors, which is very, very sad. And the most saddest part of it, or the saddest part and disturbing part of it all, is that we've left it for foreign investors or foreign people, right? Like the private sector, the important factories and industries and sectors that we've left for the private sector to handle or to operate. If it was the citizens of the country operating most of these important industries and sectors, it will make sense, and it's somehow good or help the nation in some way, right? But in Ghana's case, to be specific, we've left it in the hands of foreign people to operate these sectors, which is very, very, very disturbing and saddening. And I don't know if Ghana be on the right path. Honestly speaking, Ghana, we are not on the right path. We are not on the right path in terms of our food, our culture sector, our mining sector. If like most of the important sectors and industries, like our communication sector, Ghana here, I don't think there's any Ghanaian who owns a telecommunication factory or industrial. There's none. MTN is from South Africa, I think. Airtel Tigo is also from South Africa, I think. Telecel. All these are not Ghanaian-owned companies. Not only that, our agriculture sector too. We are importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso, onions from Niger. Yo, we are not producing our own machines, our cars. We are not. Most of the things in this country are importing them. Most of the sectors that need that the citizens, at least, if not the government operating them, at least the citizens should be operating them. No, they are in the hands of foreign people. Our brother, Mr. Saros of Tuntun Network, has done a video about this conversation, and I would like us to watch and react to it and see what's going on. I go by the name Nyama. This is New News, and if today's your first time coming across content from this channel, if you find value in it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Let's get into the video.
Ghana isn't moving forward. Ghana is moving outward. The two are not the same. Forward and outward is not the same. Forward is progress, but outward is the same as being sold. We are being sold. Eventually, the fish we eat will not be in our control. The tomatoes won't. The maize, it won't be in our control. Nothing will be in our.
Can you imagine that we have a whole Gulf of Guinea, a whole sea, a whole ocean at our borders, at our southern border, and most of the fish we consume here in Ghana here are not being caught by our local, the indigenous people, or the citizens of this country. We've allowed Chinese operators, Chinese fishermen to come into our seas, into our shores, to come and fish. They also have sea or ocean at their country. Why do we allow them to come all the way from China, from Asia, to come fish in our seas, in our waters? Does this make sense? Mr. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Mr. President, please let it make sense to me why we are allowing Chinese fishermen to come fish in our seas, Chinese miners to come mine our golds, galamsey, and all that's going on in this country. Our leaders thinking on their toes to help develop this country, or to develop this country for us. Are they do they have a vision? do they have a vision? Mr. President, I'm asking you again. That does it make sense if in your home a different man or someone else from somewhere comes into your home to run the things or run things in your home? Mr. President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, our father, I'm asking you humbly, does it make sense if someone from nowhere comes into your home to run things, to tell our First Lady, Excellency Lordina Mahama, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, on what to do in the house? Tell your son, Mr. or Ibrahim, is it Sharaf Mahama? Tell him what to do in the house. Does it make sense? Mr. President, humbly, please.
Control. Everything will be controlled by foreigners, whether foreigners in Ghana or foreigners from outside of Ghana, and we will forever be vulnerable. What this government is doing on face value may look better than importing from other places. It will sound better. You may even argue that thousands of jobs will be created and the business will be properly run than when it is in the hands of government, and the whole processing industry will be born out of it. But ladies and gentlemen, here is where you got it all wrong.
There is this thing that when we leave these important sectors for the government, people are going to steal. People are going to be corrupt. That's some people's argument, right? That first in our history, like sometime in our history, lots of the industries and those important sectors that I'm talking about were in the hands of the government, right? Or it was a government-run companies and factories and sectors. But people in that positions, the governmental positions, were stealing, were corrupt, were actually mismanaging these companies. And I'm asking, that's a problem. There's nothing that you won't find, you won't get challenges in them. Like, things will be smoothly, whether it's national or private sector, right? So how do we solve that problem? It's by imprisoning people who are caught stealing from states, factories and sectors, and from state funds and state companies. When you imprison them, when you punish them, when you fine them, when you seize their properties and sell them to what? To replace the money they stole, I don't think people will be stealing from state companies and all that. But because most of the people in power in the government positions are corrupt, but the people at the top, the very people at the top, I'm talking of the president, their vice president, and all those people, they are all corrupt. Most of them are all corrupt and thieves and criminals. So it won't work. But
you are welcome to my channel. This is Tuntum Network. My name is Cyrus. Two different things are going on between the government of Ghana and the government of Burkina Faso. I am a Ghanaian, ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate our president, but I know Ghana's approach to this challenge is a complete waste of opportunity. And I'm at this point beginning to actually suspect that there is some form of collusion going on between the politicians of Ghana and private foreign business owners in Ghana. This is my case. Ghana has similar challenges as Burkina Faso when it comes to our food security. We both have to solve the challenge of self-dependency, or at least build local capacity to reduce imports to the barest minimum of certain produce. But in the approaches of these two countries, ladies and gentlemen, it appears Burkina Faso is more hands-on than us. We both had to solve the challenge of tomato production. We have other types of staple foods to solve. We have so many issues to solve, just as Burkina Faso. Now, in the approach of solving these challenges, Ghana has chosen the path of privatization, and Burkina Faso is applying a nationalistic method. The Burkinabe government itself has engaged smallholder farmers and local cooperative organizations to grow the crop on large-scale basis. The government has brought in farm equipment, I'm talking about Burkina Faso, and logistics needed, and they are also buying most of the tomatoes produced in the country for processing. Ghana, on the other hand, has just signed a deal with a Spanish company to enter our local market. The Spanish company has taken 6,000 acres of farmland in the Afram Plains area and is supposed to replace our dependency on Burkina Faso. The Spanish company. This agreement was formalized on 16th of April this year with a Spanish company. It is called GB Foods Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand what's happening in our country, you would think that Cyrus, I hate this government. But that's not the case at all. What this government is doing on face value may look better than importing from other places. It will sound better. You may even argue that thousands of jobs will be created and the business will be properly run than when it is in the hands of government, and the whole processing industry will be born out of it. But ladies and gentlemen, here is where you got it all wrong. When the government of the day continues to invite foreign businesses to capture such strategic aspects of our economy, we become completely vulnerable. We lose our economy.
It's in Ghana. The other problem is tomatoes. Like, yes, me draw tomatoes, boy. But for some reason, yes, yet me producing on a larger scale. Like, yet me and cashier. But must say, yet me draw tomato cashier like cashier pass. Ghana phone. Oh, Burkina Faso at some point had the same problem, but on more funny ways, their governments have found a way to solve that problem. Ghana, as a country, we have been importing tomatoes massively, majorly from Burkina Faso. Massive. Now, see, Ibrahim Traore, ebe take you over, could take you over. That was last month, I think. Obeka said all exporting tomatoes and finish control bring. Massive. Or say on money. Tomatoes in Ghana, be men call other African countries and like the rest of the world. Before Obe make his statement, before Obe pass that, you know, yeah, man, before any performer call Burkina Faso some for tomatoes saban. Terrorists, any bandits be wearing attack from Ekum, Omubi. I'm a medicine news now. I think I brought that news. I brought that video to you. I'm a mechanic. One same time, but so yeah, Ghana for a banner say, yo, what's going on? It's not nice. It's not nice. Matipasi. Later, your president John Dramani Mahama, FH ko patch or say, or say Ibrahim Mahama, Ibrahim Traore say, on exported tomatoes in Ghana. Matipasi, and also the Babeka say, yo, that is not the right thing to do. We can grow tomatoes here. So why are we importing tomatoes in the first place? I'm a message to say. And I'm a say, mentia say about importation or exportation is that Ebia won't mean do apples or chroma. Matmasi, any say, would do a baby if you need to say apple. It means 15 term fee, and Yaka say, and yet a Yisna Bia, Bedia, a bunch, and a bro, or assassin. So, if you're importing foods like apples, are understandable. That's my understanding of what importation. Oh, but in Ghana's case, Jane, it's me dry Jenny Waman ye, am I pepper, tomatoes, and fish boy depot, and nama ya repo. Your water bodies, or your chroma, your epica cracker. Instead of government ever invest into our local fishermen, our indigenous fishermen now, do provide them with big boats and big fishing nets to go into the deep seas and catch big fishes. Local people, they say. And one year, more from Kenu getting boat getting and teaching them in getting a what and year, Emma, and we said Ghana, who got told Docuna, and Chinam, yo, Ocean with some and Namaka fish, I can say, Bagana, and can I getting 1 year, 2 from my do. Same way with the tomatoes thing. They crack. This government, Mahama and like Mahama. I got Spain. I got fast Spanish company. I bought on tomatoes or kruma. What's happening to you invest into our local farmers here who are also planting the same tomatoes? What happened to that? What happened to you providing them with all the necessary materials and tools they need to farm and produce these tomatoes on a larger scale? Minim say Ghana for be brave. Like I say, and farm home. They're buying by on here because it's not affecting you directly. I'm telling you that it's affecting you directly. Mami che munchiro hwe okọ circle de bia Ghanaians who are selling at circle, they are saying that they are sucking away Nigerians. Are they Nigerians for the That's the same way as the tomato farmers in Ghana here. They are just money from Munsip and we are not equipping them, we are not encouraging them to produce and get money to feed themselves and their family, and we are giving it to foreign people to come and do this shit. Cocoa farmers say, and then there's a Tigana, Nasa Bambi, Ecofa company be free, and fine farm. Ever say, it's your cocoa farmers, Yamamu. Tractors need one bed and fertilizers and build young cocoa produce cocoa in Ghana. But there are foreign people to come and plant the cocoa in our country and produce the cocoa. How will you guys feel? Will you guys Yo, Ghanaians, let's wake up. Ghanaians, let's wake up. Ghanaians, let's wake up. What's going on in this country? What is going on in this country? Our leaders, how do you guys think? Honestly speaking, humbly, how do you guys think? I think this is like to do the right thing. Yo.
By part, phase by phase, bit by bit, we lose everything to foreigners. Let me explain to you. The tomato industry is hundreds of billions of dollars investment. It is the most consumed vegetable in Ghana. We have local farmers who already farm tomatoes. This government, this NDC government, in its manifesto, promised of setting up farm stations for this purpose, ladies and gentlemen. They spoke about providing all these requirements and inputs for our local farmers to produce the crop. Everything this NDC government promised in their manifesto is actually what is being done or implemented in Burkina Faso by Ibrahim Traore. Everything they said, Traore is doing it there. The issue is this. You promise to work with local farmers. You promise.
Honestly speaking, I'm tired of NDC and PP. Yo, I've voted once in my life. But so far from what I've read in our history books, yo, NDC and PP won't help us. Now, there's nobody in these two parties who is visionary enough, who is smart or intelligent or wise enough to help this country develop. Honestly speaking, and humbly speaking too, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but that's the truth. That is the truth. Honestly, yo, some Ghanaians are going to support this thing. Some Ghanaians will support this thing. I mean, in fact, most Ghanaians will support this thing. This move by the NDC, most Ghanaians are going to support this. They say, besides, say, yo, we are mason, we are captain, we are painter, we are more chroma, we are sky, the show, bushia. Now, by all of a sudden, I buy, yo, because the same cause is Japanese for Italians and Spanish for some black chroma, Spanish painters, mason for the captain for some black chroma. My mom free chance, my mom masasipo, I'm on baby on bed, it's that up with us among my Adam. Ombe carpenter ni senjuma ne yede ye na Ghana fo yentu omoka mu mbeti asema sade na koso okroma. That's the same thing with this what's happening now. See your tomato farmers okroma, instead of the government to invest in these farmers, yes yen rather ye kofa obi on why ye or no ho atonu Spain company akofa maban omo ho atomu is it say Ghana man be like Ghana for your pese ye yonku ebedidi is and na ekoso na like menti ase is it say like oh say me dibi ama me nua o Ghana ni so be dibi there abi me mpe no be be ma obi from me onu edi is it and na ekoso na dem because menti ase yo
is to build the farm stations and the infrastructure and supplies and inputs. You promise to provide all these things. Good for you. You can actually observe that the plan you had in mind is feasible because Burkina Faso is doing exploits with it. The same plan. Why do you now turn around and bring in a whole new foreign company to be the lead player in our local?
So on to the Ekoswasia, Mamichimunchum. And this for Airba Power. Omo company omo de ban say omo ba, they are going to invest into our local farmers, right? Into our Ghanaian farmers, give them fertilizers, give them the materials and tools they need to produce more, right? Okay, send money, but send you say you're trying to try because the cost you say you're trying see nsɛm na wo ka no Burkina Faso the same thing saa nsɛm na wo ka wo betwa ntro na wo ba bɛma farmers fertilizer so bɛma mu say wo kan kra ka say cocoa farmers no wo ba wo beto mu sika ni mu like for a ton of bag of the cocoa beans no instead of 32,000 3,200 no more 4,500 I think bibisa wo so ba etum later yeti na yes what sumum yeti ya so what sumum and some in the other number that Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traore is doing the same thing in his country and it's working for them. It's working.
Production. Why do you do this, ladies and gentlemen? Why do you need a foreign company in this industry? You are opening our doors to foreign companies to come in and leverage on what we have already and use it to supply the world tomatoes and leave the rest to us. Don't you see that's what's happening or is about? The companies in the farming industry in Ghana, for your information, they prefer selling their produce on the international market than to Ghana. You should know this already. You should know this already. They come to Ghana only because it is a stable place to do their business. But the intention is not to build an industry around whatever they are producing in this country. They come here because it's cheaper to farm here and send their produce overseas for top dollar. Let me give you a real example of what's going on in this industry. Do you know the largest banana plantation in Ghana? It is called Golden Exotics Banana Plantation. This company is operating in the same way this Spanish tomato company is about to operate in Ghana. They have taken at least 3,500 hectares of lands in the Esutuare, Kasunya, and Togomi area, which cuts across the eastern region, the Volta region of Ghana. They produce between 50,000 to 90,000 tons of banana each year. The company is a subsidiary of a French from France multinational company called Fruitiere. I hope I'm saying it right. They therefore produce for France, United Kingdom, Belgium, and the Netherlands. That is their market. They simply produce the banana here.
I haven't heard of such a company in Ghana before, and I don't think I've seen their produce in our market before. I don't think I've come across their banana produce in our market. Is it their question is the Ghana are buying aquafa tomato Spanish companies on with our tomato production in Ghana. Some company means so air produce bananas. Air bananas or coma, air ton, air produce or coma. And Mr. Soros air park and say, yo, bananas no amount ton or coma, am I in your bindio? Omoko ton ma USA, France, Britain, and those European countries and those Western countries. That market is their market. That's their target. That is their target. It's not a sikang ninya kwede. First person niya scan niya about ono sa foreign company, sa French company na bom mbotoku, emba Ghana for kotoku. Niya tua Ghana for coins. Omu bia aduano ma dua na aduana kama no so mo nto ma ema ye Ghanese ma yenye bindi ema yenye enye kama omu ko to ma British ni one England for na yimu etino Charlie
and ship it to those countries for the top dollar. The intention is not to develop an industry around it in the Ghanaian local market. These companies are so smart. They operate under Ghana's free zones system, where they get so much tax breaks. They don't even pay taxes on equipment imported for their operations in Ghana, and exportation of their produce is made so easy for them because they are under the free zones. Under the free zones policy, at least 70% of their produce is supposed to be exported, and up to 30% should be sold locally. So they can even go as high as 90% of their produce. Ghana merely is the production hub for this banana company. The farm hands, as in the workers, receive some scanty salaries, and that's it. The company uses a lot of machines in their operations, and eventually the entire farm will be mechanized. So your idea of looking for employment for your people will fizzle out, ladies and gentlemen. Explain to me how this is benefiting Ghana. All the profit from the export is paid to these companies in their home accounts. The money doesn't stay here. So when you go about inviting such companies to take the largest stakes in our local industry, you are simply turning over our local economy to them. You think these companies are coming to set up industries and provide jobs and boost local productions for your country? That is not the agenda. They are business people. You have to be smart. They are looking at the best ways to maximize their profit while cutting down their costs. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't actually care about your local economy. If they can sell their produce in Europe, for instance, if they can sell it in Europe and make twice the money they make from selling in Ghana, why would they sell in Ghana? They'll go and sell it in Europe. They are going to manipulate our own laws and use the free zone system to their advantage and make billions of profits while we continue to import the same damn product.
Banana.
You see, I told you, we'll keep on importing the same tomatoes even when they are producing. It's the same story all the time.
It's okay, your farmers, we invest in them. You're not gonna a foreign company to come and what? To come and do the production here. Foreign company no so bad, no produce same item now. We are finding like it's scarce or we are not investing in it. It's nya the do no nsu yeso. Na foreign company no ba o producer de no nso on ton man Ghana for ana on farm buy market mu emanye nya video o ko ton wo abonten ye wia nya asa ko import that same banana na ye dua wa ha ye dua wa ha no ya say import that same banana back into the country again. Does this make sense? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, please. I don't know if it's your great minister or taking this initiative. And I don't know if you have any idea about what's going on. But honestly speaking, Mr. President, I might be young, right? I may be young, and I might not know what entails to govern a country or to do run such things like this or do things like this, right? I may be young but you come explain to me or come explain to Ghanaians, come and explain to the concerned Ghanaians, because me, Mr. Saros, and some Ghanaians think this isn't the right way to go. Honestly speaking, this isn't the right way to go to develop.
Can't you see that's what all the Indians and the Lebanese and the Chinese, that's what they are all doing now? They are all hiding behind the free zones system in Ghana and ripping us off in this country in every business they do. What?
Yeah, allow foreign people to come create factories and industries here. No more cheap. Yeah, ordinary Ghanaians no condemn. Shout out to the condemn guy on TikTok. The Rasta guy. Lebanese funny Chinese for every and condemn Okroma. Also, God, Lebanese, Chinese, and India companies, no factories now. You cheap boys condemn. You cheap condemn. Hey,
what
Ghana.
Government is doing doesn't empower Ghanaians. I'm sorry. It doesn't empower indigenous local producers. It doesn't empower our local farmers. It doesn't. It is only going to make these Spanish companies super
it's going
rich.
To cripple us more.
Also get rich.
It's going to cripple us more.
I suspect there is some kind of collusion on the part of the government of Ghana to allow foreigners to take over our economy sector by sector so that, mutually they all benefit. Not us. They bring them into the country on percentages. And when the profits begin to pour in, these politicians receive their cuts in foreign accounts at the expense of the country. Ladies and gentlemen.
Of the country, of the ordinary Ghanaians.
You need to take off your political lens to understand what I just described. Ghana isn't moving forward. Ghana is moving.
We are moving outward. We are moving backwards.
Outward is not the same. Forward is progress.
Not even outward. We are moving backwards. We are retarded.
Being sold. We are being sold. Eventually, the fish we eat will not be in our control. The tomatoes won't. The maize, it won't be in our control. Nothing will be in our control. Everything will be controlled by foreigners, whether foreigners in Ghana or foreigners from outside of Ghana. And we will forever be vulnerable. The controller is stronger than the controlled. Think through what I just said, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cyrus, and thanks for your time. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell.
Thanks, Mr. Cyrus.
I'll see you in the next.
Thank you too. We appreciate for this insight, for touching on this topic, and Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians. If the government don't think about us, I think it's in our right to ask questions, to ask for what we deserve, because our politicians, our leaders, our people in power, in position of power, foreign people. This is more of like the slave trade, right? Because in the history, like we learned that some people were selling, right, their own people. Though back then there was nothing like nation, national group of people. Where it was more of like groups of ethnic groups, different ethnic groups. So I understand, but it's almost the same. It's like the same thing. Yeah, our politicians are selling us out. Because momenti I said kuntia Ghana ni more tomato farm. Instead of saying government be investing to me, the government said that you allow people to come here from their other countries, different countries, come in this country. You give them free lands to farm. Meanwhile, Ghana you know, obe do tomatoes, obe to assassin. Whether you pay for lease or whatever, but you pay for it. But foreign people, foreign companies, they are not putting any taxes on them. They are not taxing them. Let it make sense. And I make sure say Ghana for me will support because they are NDC or they are looking through the political lenses, right? They will go like, yo, the government is rather doing the good thing, and then and even this doesn't even affect me. My culture says, so ton adewo krom, ton adewo mokola agbo she fan. Now one day, aban si yo, baby I was now wo ton adewo, okay, on pamo, but okofa broni, every abroche, every Asia, every South America, every America, abase, on so ton the same thing or Yen say on average, these foreign people, they are like na abansa ko form aban asam freeland bi on bet na that tom on madian aban enjoy mo your friend is simple tickets aban enjoy tickets mo me one what Ghana ni na wo to chrome aban etwa tickets amount wo twa tickets on a daily basis what on ade or circle what on phones and accessories or circle one day aban say yo okofa Nigerians and okofa wine aba almost meton the same thing or circle on jom sike bia on jom taxes on jom hwe stores now mutiti mu no aban the mom free omontomade. How would you guys react? How would you guys feel? That's the same thing happening here. My breaking it down actually it's more reason say odun yonku say oyonku da and also that you will join hands together and fight against this initiative, fight against this kind of governance in our country. We will front against such governance in our country.